Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and as you guys know, Season 7 does end in a couple of hours by the time you're probably watching this video, or it could possibly be ended already. Now, like I do for every single season, I always just tell my own story, like I have my own experience, and overall, Season 7 was, it was kind of, yeah, Season 7 went pretty well, honestly. So no, that wasn't my form of trying to brag, saying yes, I finally did climb and I'm very close to my career high, finally back in the 3,800, but that's my way of showing you guys it's possible. As you guys know, back, I want to say in Season 5 or something, I don't remember because frankly I wanted to kind of push it out of my mind. I dropped so much SR, in fact 400 SR, that's kind of my biggest drop ever in competitive Overwatch, and I was very turned off by Overwatch at the time. I just want to make that clear. At the time I was very turned off from competitive. I thought, oh my god, I dropped all the way to diamond, where I am aware that there are people like in platinum that dropped a whole lot more and that would love to be in my position, but I guess I just have higher standards for myself and I want to get back into that master rank and almost close to grandmaster rank. And I mention all of this to one, tell you guys, well, what happened with Season 7. Obviously I did have that big burst and climb at the very end, but I also show you guys that it's very possible to try to climb back up, and kind of climb out of the hole that you kind of dug yourself in, or you kind of just fell in, kind of like Team Rocket whenever they try to go catch Pikachu, they kind of just fall in the hole. That in a sense is you and is your SR, but there's always ways to try to improve, and obviously dropping an SR isn't great. Like, nobody wants to drop an SR, everybody wants to climb, but it's also good in a way because it tells you, alright, obviously something is going wrong. Oh, bro, you whack, you know what's going on? I have bad teammates that make me drop. I get it, man. Alright, I play competitive also. Like, I've had whack teammates, I've had terrible teammates, and in fact, I just had throwing teammates the whole entire time for the past, what, 4 or 5 seasons? I get it, but still, there is always room to improve. You should look at every single game that you have a thrower, every single game that you have a lever, every single game that, whatever the case may be, isn't going wrong for you, or that is going wrong with you, and try to look at what you could have improved. Could you have been playing tank? Could you have not been playing Hanzo? Could you have switched off the soldier so that the soldier one trick could have played soldier at that time? You know, there's a bunch of things that you might not think that you have control over, but it's realizing those little things that you have control over that'll help you improve and just not make you so stressed and competitive, because I feel like that's the biggest thing that people fall fault to, is that they feel so stressed and feel like, oh my god, am I gonna win? Am I not gonna win? Is this gonna happen? Or like, once you just relieve that stress and just realize it's a video game, my guy, you're gonna be climbing and just winning a bunch more games. And that was one thing that I learned in Season 7, honestly, was just learning, okay, not to stress out, try the best that you can. If someone leaves, change up the team comp as quick as possible, have either a solo Mercy or just have like a solo Zenyatta or Lucio, get as much DPS as possible, and just try to go in and get as many kills. If I have a thrower in our game, or if I just have someone that's just playing like a Widowmaker, and obviously isn't a Widowmaker player, then let's work around that Widowmaker, just trying to make everything work as best as possible, and if it doesn't work out, then just move on to the next game. That's one thing that I just learned, not really just a new hero, not really just a new strategy, but more or less just a new mindset and a new way that I look at competitive Overwatch. But of course, there's gonna be those people in the comments like, yeah, bro, like, you know, be happy, try not to stress, and play the heroes that work with the team. We get it, bro. Like, what did you do in Season 7 that was different from the other season? Because, again, people actually want to just know from the gameplay side of things how I improved and what I did as a player, because it's not like I just continue to play the same heroes in Season 6. No, I in fact learned a few heroes also, but more or less it's just other DPS, or more or less just other tanks, because as you guys know, I love to play Soldier and I love to play Diva. Those are like the two offensive tanks heroes that I love to play, because I don't know, I guess those just fits kind of my kind of play style. But the main thing that I just did differently Season 7 was just broaden my horizon in those two categories, play different DPS and play different tanks, because not one tank and not one DPS kind of just ruled all of Season 7, and I think that's kind of good. Whereas beforehand, Reaper was the main DPS, or Junkrat was the main DPS, or Diva was the main DPS, and now while those heroes still are very prevalent, still are highly picked, they're not must-pick kind of heroes. I feel like the only must-pick hero in all of Overwatch was kind of Mercy in a sense. But those heroes that I played a lot more in Season 7 were Reaper and Zarya, two heroes that I don't often play because, well, I'm always playing the Diva or Soldier 76, but that allowed me to just try to counter the enemy team a whole lot more, and that's one thing I kind of learned in Season 7 compared to like Season 3 and 4, was not really playing to my strengths, but playing to the enemy's weaknesses, if that makes sense. Really just trying to play as much counter heroes as possible, and of course Zarya is one of those heroes that counter a bunch of heroes, like a Diva D.Va and a Reaper and a Junkrat kind of a little bit. And same thing with Reaper. It counters the dive comp with Winston, counters a bunch of tanks, and that more or less helped me a lot. But of course, I still stuck to my roots. I still stuck to my strengths and what I know, and I still played Mei. Even though for the past, I want to say 2 seasons, I've played less and less Mei, this season I just set my ground and I just set my foot down and say, no, I'm gonna play Mei, I can make it work. And of course, I went 9-2 with her. I won more games, I won double, triple more games than I lost games, and that in fact helped me just climb a whole bunch. Either it's because she's a wildcard hero, it's either because not a lot of people know how to counter or whatever the case may be. That is to just show you guys that if you do play like the Widowmaker, or you play the Hanzo, or you play the Symmetra, or the Torbjorn, or even the Genji when they have a bunch of counters on the enemy team, if it works for you, and if it's working, don't be afraid to set your ground, but also be smart with it. Overwatch is meant to just switch heroes around. You should always try to play as much different kind of heroes as possible, especially if the enemy team is countering you and you're able to counter them. Like say if they have a Winston on the other team. If you're playing Genji, maybe you should switch to a Reaper. I say all this because this is all that I kind of just set in my own mindset in Season 7 that I just take into my own gameplay, and it shows in my SR. Now, SR isn't everything because, hey, I kind of didn't have the highest SR in the past 2 seasons, but this will allow me in the future seasons to, hey, I know I can play Mei, I know I can make it work, but I'm going to be able to switch to other heroes because, hey, I know how to play Soldier, I know how to play Zenyatta, all these kind of heroes. And I'm not saying you have to play this exact same way, but it worked for me, and if it can work for me, a little virgin like me, it can definitely work for you. So overall, the final verdict of Season 7 was it obviously went well for me, but that doesn't correlate to how the actual season went for everybody, because I'm sure you guys had a different experience, which I want you guys to leave your own experience and your own stories down below. Did one trick screw you over? And be honest, did one trick screw you over? Did you have a lot of throwers? Or did you honestly improve? Did you learn a bunch of heroes? And did that help? Because for me, I started to practice a lot more. I get a little bit lazy sometimes and not want to play my McCree on a bot training method and not go in and do that. No, I started to practice a bit more. I played a little bit of quick play and started learning new heroes in turn of Zarya and Reaper, and even a little bit of Pharah and Genji here and there. That's what helped me, and of course I adopted the new mindset, which is going to help me a bunch in Season 8, which I feel like it's going to be my season. I try to think that for every season, but seriously, I strongly feel like Season 8 is going to be awesome because big changes are coming. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Leave me your own experiences for Season 7 if it went well or if it went terrible. I just want to know. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch videos to come, and bye.